Welcome back. I'm back. Hello. Div 660 podcast. We're a little bit off today because we have a bigger and uglier version of Alex Eagle.
I could go for bigger, but not uglier.
Why not?
I don't know.
So the power rankings of production are Chapman,
Yes.
RIP, but he was first in his short time here.
Wait, you cut the music?
Yeah. So
better than
is Terry Tam second?
Yes.
Terry Tam second.
I cut it at the appropriate time.
Eagle, inappropriate Eagle, he's third.
And who's?
Hey Mo, who are you?
Hi, I'm Okan.
Hi, I'm Simon, and I think Eagle's not very good at producing.
I am Peeze, and I don't know if candy canes are white and red striped or red and white striped.
They're white, bro.
That's like zebras, right?
Terry doesn't have a microphone.
It's next to him. It's literally next to him.
What do you want me to say to that?
Just hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Introduce yourself.
So that's Terry.
He doesn't get the show.
Terry Tam is producing for us today.
I have a feeling he hasn't watched the show in 8 weeks.
No, he hasn't. And we are not watching the show for the last 4 weeks. All right, so let's dive into it. The week that was, we're going to do 6 and 60. We're almost in the final turn of
You
games.
didn't watch the show last week? Oh my God. You were here.
I was not here last week.
Yes, you were.
I never know when Mo's
I
here.
was at the Canadians game covering.
You were
them.
here. You called like 6 times.
I didn't call 6 times.
Every
Toss, you
show.
were in the corner
Toss
saying,
up.
You were in the corner saying toss up.
Oh, yes, it was. Yes.
He was
I
here. He was here. He was here the whole time.
He was here. That's what I'm
Anyway,
doing. Moving on.
we're back. 3 more games left in the season, or
Right.
4 more games left, depending on who it is. Terry, who's sending you a message on
miss
Facebook. Is that
Chapman.
Eagle or Chapman? Yeah. Perfect. He's blushing, so it must be a girl. All right. Is it? Who is it? Eagle?
It's probably BD.
Okay.
But now Eagles Facebook is gonna ring because it's
So you're on Eagle's
It's awesome.
Facebook profile as we speak.
oh
Oh.
So why don't you put like a status up there?
I'm sorry, Division
Yeah?
6.
What kind of status? What kind of status are we gonna do?
well. I mean, I would change his pictures to something more phallic, like an actual penis.
Something more.
I feel
valid.
it. After going through his messages, I think he's looking for a new job. So I'm not gonna do
all
that.
right, cool, cool.
So
but maybe his job requires him to have a large penis.
It's
So we're
very
helping
possible.
him by putting a penis as an avatar,
Very possible.
as an evader, as they say in another place.
So is it? Before we get to the show, so Dan Levitard on Dan Levitard with Stu Gotts, which Peeze and I both like. They had a poll question for: is it penises or penile?
Peni?
What?
I believe it's penises, but there's also just the safe more penis. More penis is
Yes.
plural of penis.
Okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure
Like,
penis
so-
is a thing.
How many penises have you seen in your life, Terry?
Over 1,000.
So
Easy.
he has seen more penis.
It is P. It is P9.
Yeah,
Peni.
so I've
Well,
seen the
because
most
they had a
penis.
question, right? They said, "Is it peni or is it penises?" And they had the poll question, and I think penises won by like a 2-to-1.
Yeah,
margin,
because it's
so-
penises. I don't care what English says.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's penises.
Okay, so speaking of English, let's talk about the week that was in 6 and 6D.
In English.
In English, need I say. Actually, Terry had a great line years ago, which we can't bring up because the powers to be will call us down about that line. All right, so the week that was, what caught your attention in 6 and 6D, gentlemen?
that
well,
line. I want to know what it is now.
the Warriors win again,
Of course.
but it's a tight one against Green Monster, who have been struggling all season. Green Monster haven't scored against anybody. They put up 30 points on the Warriors.
Maybe they cheated. Were Warriors late?
No, I talked to Benji Ziegler. He said that honestly, Green Monster did kind of okay, but they're kind of getting worn out by the season. Like they feel like they've played their more difficult games, and
Warriors, you mean?
yeah, and like now that the Warriors are into this part of the schedule, there's a bit of like complacency in a sense.
Right.
But none of that on Mitch Friggin, by the way. He was great. 11 for 12, 5 touchdowns. So that's
Okay.
pretty impressive, and 5 runs for 67 yards. So he was the team
Excuse
in this
me.
game.
Well, it does wear, though, right? I mean, we talk about the dog days of the FPF season. I think you and I spoke about it. Maybe Alex Holloway and I spoke about it. But week 7, 8, well, week 6, 7, and 8 are the dog days of the FPF year, and it wears on teams. And as stupid as this sounds, even though this is a recreational league, some people make it pro, but people get worn down. So I can
Yeah.
see the point about how guys could be like, well, man, I just want to get to the end, so we start playoffs. And then you wonder, guys, do the concentration focus lapse on players, and they lose that focus and trying to keep themselves at that high level of success to be going hot into the playoffs?
My only experience on a perfect team was it never changed. We just wanted to beat up on other teams.
But also, you weren't playing 3 teams back then, right?
What?
You were only playing 1 team back
That's
then.
true. That's also
Like,
true.
imagine
But a lot
now-
of Warriors aren't playing multiple teams either.
But like, if you imagine yourself now, you're playing on 3 teams.
Yeah.
At some point, you can't.
I physically cannot play on 3 teams
And-
anymore. It's really wearing me down.
and you're also like, you can't care about 30 games, right? Like, at some point, you're like, this one doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
Perhaps.
I was surprised, maybe not by the result, but by the scoreline. Replacements hammering the Pack, who are in a dogfight to get into the playoffs here. Are you surprised that the replacements won 32-0 as they did against a Pack team that we said, yeah, they're playing for fun, but could be competitive with they're locked in.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised somewhat by the score. Daniel Krebs only completing 5 passes, not throwing a touchdown. I haven't seen that from him in a long time. It's a good team, and he is a talented quarterback. So that's the surprising
is
part.
he or was a talented quarterback?
I think he's talented enough to put up a couple of scores a game. And one of the things you'll notice is in this game we don't see Ryan Leckford in the box score. So I don't believe he was there. And we've been saying the team's been going through Ryan all season long, and that at some point the offense needs to grow beyond the ball going to one person over and over and over. And it's clear that when he wasn't there, Daniel Krebs was throwing there anyway. He's aiming at his home. Like, what is that, east? That looks eastish, and just lobbing the ball into the curtain.
That looks east-ish. Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I think happened. Analysis.
Replacement is a good defense. Their offense tends to struggle at times, but if the other team only completes 5 passes, you're getting the ball. Like, you're going to get a lot of opportunities, and you're getting the ball usually with good field positioning, which is going to help Frank Thiele. So it could be a little bit about the scoreline was because their defense was very successful and they shut the other team down, or like they just had they're starting to click at the right time. Like, we've seen replacements do it last spring, where they sort of struggled the first 5-6 weeks, and they sort of got their offense going, scoring 25 points per game in the second half and made the playoffs. So it could be a similar thing.
And Frank Thiele is not a quarterback who adjusts a lot, so if his offense is working, it will work, and that's what we saw in this game. The Pack gave him nothing to worry about, so he just ran whatever he wanted to run.
What else caught your attention, gentlemen?
Chocolate Barracudas, 43 points against Lionheart. It's not so much the who won, who lost that surprises me. It's the Chocolate Barracudas dropping 43 points.
So the weakness of Lionhearts, and for those following the show, I've worked with them to improve their offense recently. I blame
Special
Eagle.
guest coach.
What?
Special guest coach.
Well, so before we got there, because Eagle and I, when teams are really struggling, we actually go out of our way to try and meet with teams in Division 6 to sort of give them some pointers. Because look, it sucks to get blown out every week. So let's make sure they at least move the ball. Let's make sure they can make a couple of stops. And before we helped them, they had only scored 12 points all season. So they've been scoring more. They've been moving the ball better. But it still has it's still a team that needs to learn. They haven't learned much on defense. And I would say it's Eagle's fault because he hasn't sent the captain a message. So
Were they also late to
all
the
on you.
game? Because there seems to be extra points on this.
it's possible. I wasn't at that game
There's 5 touchdowns for 43 points.
because Kirkland. Why don't you just put it on Mars, Kirkland? If they were late, I'll tell you why.
Who has more headaches? People from the West Island going to St. Leonard for games, or people from the East End going to the
I'll
West
tell
Island?
you who has no headaches. People from the West Island because they don't matter.
Ooh.
New
Live in a
Ontario.
real place.
I take offense to that.
I know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I meant it. I meant it with offense.
Alex,
I didn't start with no offense. I was like, no. Be
Eagle.
hurt by this.
you know what? With Terry taking over the Eagle positions, it's going from the iPhone X to like the iPhone 1.0 in Terry.
What?
Well, there's no iPhone 1.0,
There is now.
so it's the newer version.
Of the older version.
Potatoes.
Hold on, say it properly, please.
Potatoes were over cap and lost to Gold Rush.
So maybe you brought in all these guys. Didn't help the team chemistry. Kyrie Irving, same kind of thing.
Ayo. No, I think that I don't know. I like potatoes.
I think they just needed subs. They didn't really care.
Yeah, I think they just grab bodies.
Gold Rush are pretty good, man. They're young and athletic, and they'll beat on teams sometimes like Potatoes, who are a little older, more experienced, but don't have the
Well,
speed and depth
I
like
mean,
top to bottom.
This is like 9 for 12, 150 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's good stat lines.
Mm-hmm.
And
By
Potatoes
Matthew
obviously had
Levine.
no defense.
By Matthew Levine. It
Yeah.
helps if you see who you're talking about.
Like,
It's a largely audio medium.
There's no Potatoes had no defense whatsoever. If you complete 9 passes for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. And I don't know if they were like missed tackles or deep balls. Rocco Cristiano in on this game for Gold Rush. 4 catches, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. We know how athletic he is.
Yes, very
Uh,
talented player.
Yeah. The dude can scoot. Scoots out there.
Okay.
Full of scoot.
Okay.
I was surprised by Fighting Tigers beating Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Seth Galina has played well the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
And
You're welcome.
honestly, Trailer Park Boys are a good defense. My concern about them all season long, I think I literally say this in my power rankings in my article this week, but I'll say it here because why not?
Because why not?
Trailer Park Boys have a good defense, but so far they've won every game, and this is the first time they've allowed more than 20 points in a game. So my
Okay.
question is, can they beat a team? Because it's going to happen that you're going to allow 4 scores.
Of course.
So
What's your rule of thumb?
you need to score 5 times to guarantee victory.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially in playoffs. So, Fighting Tigers are a good team. They needed to be able to put up 5 scores. They didn't put up 5 scores against them, and we see Seth Galina going up for 4 touchdowns. Emilio Pampena, which I always say it, like the dude doesn't necessarily look the part. He's a great receiver.
He's a
He's
very
good receiver.
It's a very good receiver. 28 points on 4 touchdowns is very impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that's very, very good. And it puts a lot of pressure if you're able to go up like 14-0 against a team or even 14-6. So it also plays into it where you feel like you have to catch up, and Trailer Park Boys are maybe not used to teams being able to put up so much on extra points.
So just a reminder for those who are watching. I know people are curious. By the way, Simon, you put your cookie over there, really?
It wasn't meant. It actually dropped on the floor, so I didn't leave it on the floor.
You left it on your chest before.
It was better
Lover
that way.
boy.
You shouldn't have said
Is
it.
that your shirt cookie?
Yeah.
It's-
Lover boy over here. Okay.
Few
so-
people have an entire cookie as a crumb. By the way, that's pretty impressive.
Exactly. Very impressive. Just a reminder for those who are curious to know what your playoff standings. So if you go to your league page, such as 6 or 6D.
It will not show because it's very complicated
Yes.
in Division 6.
Yes.
I can
But it
break
gives
it.
you an idea of what to do, but Peeze does have the breakdown, though.
Yeah, I have the breakdown, and I'm filibustering as I open the page because I was not ready.
And
for
don't forget,
that.
our next topic is talking
0%,
about...
Yeah.
like negative ready.
Like,
Was
we
the
have a
amount of
script
ready
and it's not even on
that
it.
I was ready for that. So
well,
I'm
we can talk
opening
about
it.
Los Sietes Amigos.
Opening.
You wanna talk-
I'm open. It's open. It's
There
open.
we
It's
go.
open. So, the top 8 teams from Division 6 will remain in Division 6 as such and compete in Division 6 playoffs. And they're as follows: Dirty Landry Warriors, Vic in the Box Scranton Stranglers as the 4
Well, for now.
division leaders. Yeah, for now. If the playoffs are today, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Hot Sauce Sports at the 5 slot.
Massive win yesterday.
Not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad. On 1 foot
Yeah.
with somebody. D2 the Mighty Ducks in 6th, Dog Pound in 7th, and Average Joe's in 8th. Now, the next teams are the teams that would fall 9th to 12th, but they're relegated or lower to seeds 13 to 16. Because
Gotcha.
the Division 6D teams compete in slots 9 to 12.
What does
So-
Simon always say about mathematics?
He's not good at it.
Matt Radio is boring.
Yeah, it's not math though. It's just standings.
I know.
So,
yes,
NW
about math.
NWO with a forfeit win over Zone 6 Ballers.
Which I think is detrimental to them because they need the reps to get better.
Yeah, like, honestly, like Zone 6 Ballers, perhaps change your names to Zone 6 something else that starts with a B because that's what's happening with your team.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Zone
so.
6 no shows.
Well, it doesn't start with a B.
No.
Bow shows.
But
Boo shows.
both shows.
Boat show.
Booked something else tonight,
So,
so can't make it.
NWO 13, 14 is 4th and 20. Channel 4 News team at 15 and Vultures at 16. So in the 9 to 12 slots in that playoff bracket are the teams that moved up from Division 6D. And there we have B-Ballers, MacDo, Los Siete Amigos, Trailer Park Boys.
Let's go, MacDo.
Now the teams relegated to Division 6D. Listen to this, by the way, because this is absolutely terrifying. Unknown Talent as the
Yes.
1 seed. Green Monster,
Okay.
Fat Diablos, Pension Plan,
Okay.
Hurricane Season, and 7th rounders.
Oh, Hurricane season's back in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Once again.
and in 6D. So if Unknown Talent, Pension Plan, Hurricane Season, And I'd see even Green Monster in the Division 6D playoffs. It's
Well-
not going to be fun.
Well, so to me, Green Monsters should be able
They're
to
like borderline.
So they're struggling a little bit now in 6. But
Yeah.
in 6D, that defense is good enough to take games, like to win games by itself. Fat Diablos will be able to compete in Division 6D more than they
Yeah.
currently are in Division 6.
I saw them yesterday. It was not good.
No, it's not. It's not. My favorite play was
Dude, like someone took a red dump on field 1.
Soil the field, I see. Huh?
I looked over at the field and all I saw was Marc-André Desjardins running down the sideline on like a fly, waving his hand like he's open, but there was literally 2 guys around him.
You know, someone told me he's like the Tony Romo of like sideline scorekeeping.
Who's this?
If
Really?
supposedly if he's standing next to Marc-Andre Delaunay, he can tell you what the play is going to be.
He's a very honest, but
He's
as a
like Rain
quarterback,
Man.
he's very good at reading the field. He just doesn't have a very good arm. I understand what that's like, but he understands the game very, very well. And 7th to 16th are as follows: 7 is Brewers, Le Cassé at 8, Potatoes
Big
at
win from
9.
Nick City this week.
What?
Big win from Nick City this
Yeah.
week.
So many man buns. Fighting Tigers at 10, Gold Rush at 11, Bud Knights up to 12,
Yes, sir. Bud Knights.
Llamas Pajamas at 13,
Let's go.
DGC
Okay.
at
That's
14.
kinda boring.
15 is the Real Bros of Simi Valley, and 16 is Past Our Prime.
Oh, Pastor Prime.
Sorry,
Time.
Past Our Prime Time.
Past our prime time.
So who's not in the playoffs?
All the teams I didn't mention.
So Dirty Birds,
Dirty Birds?
can they make their way up the ladder to get? Right now they have 3 more games left.
Okay.
They could very well be absolved from any tiebreakers because of the one tie. They're 2-4-1. They're only a single point out from getting into the playoff window.
So
Do
very.
you believe they have a chance to get in, guys?
Who they playing?
They
The other
play Los Siete Amigos, they play Fighting Tigers, and then Potatoes.
Mm.
Thanks, Eagle.
Sheesh.
I mean, it's
Sheesh.
1 and 2 maybe.
Did you hear me say sheesh? Because that's their schedule.
Well, okay, so they're not going to beat Los Siete Amigos. Although Los Siete
Or
Amigos
Fighting Tigers.
keep winning games 12-6.
Yeah.
So I mean, all you got to do is they just need to make 2 mistakes.
But then you need to score when they make the mistakes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The 2 mistakes is like miss a tackle and then that's 12 points.
Okay.
Like it's
So
not.
specifically mistakes for the
we're not talking about losing games 40-6 where whatever they got an extra touchdown. 12-6 is.
They're
not
also
great
6
scores.
and 1.
I know, but a lot of these games were decided by 1 score.
So do you think Simi Valley or Pastor Primetime could be the team that could be replaced by Dirty Birds?
Pastor Primetime, I feel it could be one of those teams that loses out, and then, but like P said, it's a tough schedule for them to win out of.
So past the prime time, let's take a quick look at who they're playing. They have Real Bros and Simi Valley, so it's a big game because the
Yep.
last 2 playoff spots. I feel like whoever wins that game this week is basically in
Winner pushes over the
Yeah.
other one with the tiebreaker
because they'll be ahead behind.
And with 2 games left.
No, that's not what a headband means.
I know they'll have the tiebreak, they'll have the head to head, and there'll be a game ahead.
But you look at Primetime's schedule, Chocolate Barracudas, then they end off with B-Ballers.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Well,
it's
Chocolate
winnable.
Barracudas, other than this past week, have had trouble scoring.
Yeah,
They have
exactly.
2 good weeks back to back
B
now.
ballers they will not beat.
No.
So,
So in theory, the 2 wins could be now and next week.
yeah.
Well, they
And
need
e-
to
but
win.
even I think if they win 1, they're pretty much in.
Yep.
And then Sim for Real Bros, they play like past the prime time, as I just said. BDR, who have a tough time scoring.
which is a winnable game for Simi Bros.
Their offense is, what's a word for remedial but meaner?
For what?
Remedial but meaner.
I don't know what that word means.
Oh, boy.
Bad. They're bad. Their offense is bad.
Okay.
Like a remedial quarterback.
And then South Shore Seamen are
Also,
another one of these
you-
teams that Eagle and I need to go speak to because they're struggling in their first season.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like Eagle and Peace have become like Jehovah's Witnesses, going door
Yes.
to door. Hey, do you need help with your flag football team?
Yo, but you can't religion shame in 2019, Mo. I mean,
Why
why
not?
don't you be more woke?
I'm
So
just
I
saying,
have-
You go door to door. The
Listen, man,
FPF
I'm a
religion.
witness. I'm a witness to FPF gods.
So the FPF
Jehovah's
religion. There you go.
Who's the god?
So I have all the
Someone
synonyms
named
for
Jehovah.
bad.
He was really good at flag
Oh, go ahead,
football.
Eagle.
So I got-
Sorry.
So I got all the synonyms for bad.
All right,
Atrocious,
let's start off. They're atrocious. What else are they?
abominable,
Yeah, like a
I mean-
snowman.
erroneous,
Yeah, like something that's wrong.
Yeah.
fallacious.
They
Sounds
get as
voluptuous.
little filet show as Robert Kraft.
How about
unless
this
they pay
one?
For it.
How about this one?
Wow.
Not good.
Not good. That's the one. That's the winner. Their offense
Not good.
is
Can
Not good.
Gary, do you mind looking it up? Brady Hoke, not good. Just find that clip for me, please, and we'll play it on there. Brady Hoke, Hoke, Brady Hoke. Not
Given the
good.
news are over crap, when you said Brady Hook, I thought that was
Yeah.
going somewhere very different.
Brady
So,
Hoke.
so
Check
the
it
best
out.
question here is, can you actually play a clip?
Do you have it?
Sorry?
I have the
Can
clip.
he play the
Yes.
Now, do I know how to play it?
clip? That's what
Is
I'm
a
saying.
completely different.
I'd
Well,
say
there
just-
there
I
must
just-
be a fader there to open up your.
Oh, just try play because we hear everything from the computer
Yeah.
anyways. Well, you never know.
We all wait in silence?
Well,
There we go.
It works.
Now we're getting a commercial.
No, that's
Okay,
okay.
no,
80% of all antibiotics are given to
Mute the
farm
commercial.
animals. At Greenfield,
Don't-
we're
We're
on
farm
a mission
animals.
to change this. That's
Sorry,
why
dude,
we
that's
never give
The video will play
antibiotics
after the
to
Yo, but
our
what if the animals have like
Here we go, here we go.
appendicitis and they need antibiotics?
Here we go. Here we go.
Listen to it. This is not the right clip.
You had the right clip, no?
No, I don't have the. I didn't.
So,
have,
but,
I had,
like, what if the what if there's like a giraffe who's got like a terrible he has a terrible case of like I don't know like infected nutsack.
A giraffe?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he needs antibiotics.
Yes.
He needs antibodies, bro.
Yes.
Then we're not giving it to them because those stupid kids in the commercial they're knocking down those snow pillars for some reason. What's the relation?
You were
I'm
pay-
so
You're paying
confused.
too much attention to that commercial instead of the Division 6 podcast.
No, but guy,
Number
listen,
one, thanks for coming.
We live so much longer.
I know there's been a lot of talk, a lot of people, speculation, a lot of
Oh, that's not
rumors,
it.
innuendos, whatever.
this is a compilation
uh,
of all Brady Hoke's erroneous press
Okay, so
conferences.
essentially what he said was he was on Dan Patrick years ago when he was coaching Michigan. So then Dan Patrick asked him, "So how are things at Michigan with you against Ohio State?" Not good.
I have that interview, but it's
All
10
this
minutes long. I
build-up
won't
for
be able to
Maybe he
find
was
it.
at a massage parlor in Florida, and that's why he sounded that way.
Maybe.
But
Not
so
Good.
my question, my thing though is like we live so much longer now that we have antibiotics.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you want to give it to animals?
Yes. Or kids, really.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other thing. If you're an anti-vaxxer, you're the dumbest person.
What's
if I'm
worse?
offending you, then I don't
Anti-vaxxer
care.
or flat earther?
I mean, they're often the same people.
So anyways, that's the playoff breakdown, correct?
Yes.
All right. So we're now up to date with what's going on with the playoff breakdown.
Are we? I don't know. You're the one following the script.
I am. Oh, Warriors. Are we going to say they're the best team? Are they the golden ticket now moving forward?
So I played them in week 1.
Okay.
I think they're very, very good. I think so they're probably the most complete team.
Where's the butt?
Oh, I got the butt. They're the most complete team. They don't have necessarily, let's say, the best quarterback in the division because I think that's Avery Lala with Dirty Laundry, but that roster's thinner than Warriors. So I think like all the top teams in Division 6, there's a flaw, and the Warriors have sort of like the smallest flaw, right? Like they're just good across the board. Where they don't have, let's say, the best players, they have just good athletes across the board who are versatile and can play in multiple positions. Scranton Stranglers, not necessarily the best firepower.
That was not the question.
Sorry,
That was not the question.
No, but here's the thing,
I'm
though.
giving context.
But here's
I know you're not smart enough for context, but the Division 6 listeners
you're
are
pulling
much
us-
smarter than you are.
You're pulling a Simon. You go like around the question.
No, but I'm answering the question with context.
No.
You just don't answer the question.
No, I always answer the question with
No, you don't.
context.
No, you don't. You clearly don't.
I do it all the time.
you eat Cookie Crisp on the side.
Yeah.
It was good though.
We need to unvote you from the Hall of Fame because
Yeah.
you're a trash.
Technically,
journalist.
you voted for me. It's your
I
fault.
did. It's a problem.
It's your fault.
I didn't even vote.
There you go. So,
Good.
Mo,
So
Mo
thank
can
you.
complain.
Technically speaking, he didn't get a full 100%.
It's true. Therefore, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Nope.
You didn't even have 50 last year.
Terry, did you vote?
Sorry, bro.
That's what it is, man.
Sorry, bro. Snubbed.
Did I vote for the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Who do you vote for?
In the media,
Yeah.
who were the options?
Yeah, it's Simon Dagenais. That is all.
I think I had because I knew Simone was going to get in, so I threw Jonathan Lewis some votes.
That's
hey,
good, man.
I also voted for John.
I would have voted for John
That's
Lewis.
just a douche move.
No, it's
You
not.
did that to get more attention to yourself. Or
I did not.
else you
Like,
wouldn't
like,
tell
you
us.
would know,
No
like,
one-
a true,
Or else
one
you
knew.
wouldn't tell us what the vote was.
a true humanitarian. Oh, what
Yeah.
a guy! He could have voted for himself.
You're
voted
a
for someone
piece
else,
of
man.
human
Real
garbage,
hockey.
Simo.
Wow.
All right,
Sorry.
so what team can beat the Warriors then?
Honestly, I think there's a top like 6 or 7. I think Vic and the Bucks are very good. Their defense is the best defense, while Matt Pistorio is still learning. D2 complete, very good across the board.
They're playing each other
Uh,
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
March 17th.
Dirty Laundry, if Avery Lala is able to connect with his top tier receivers, they'll do really well. Yeah, I think there's like a good top 5 or 6 teams in Division 6, and any of them could beat any of them on any week.
But obviously when we amalgamate 6D and 6 in terms of the playoff standings, as you look at me like cook-eyed. What's the matter, Peeze?
Oh, I'm just looking at an angle because I gotta
I
still
know.
hold
You're
my
playing Simone. Like Simone does it all the time.
Well, it's because the angle of looking at you and
I
where the
know.
mic is, I have no choice.
And you're like this. Like,
I
what
can
the-
move my basket.
No, you can't. The basket mic.
Is that like a tricycle holding supporting the basket with
Yeah.
the microphone in it?
Yeah.
So, in theory, they should have the easiest matchup in the opening round.
Who's this?
Warriors, whoever they
Well,
face.
if they're
in the
number
first-
one.
Yeah,
Well, it
if they're number
depends. So, like a team like Unknown Talent may finish at the bottom,
Yeah.
and like if you have to face Pension Plan or Unknown Talent at the beginning of the playoffs, that's not a great matchup to start.
No, but for Warriors, I think that Unknown Talent is a good matchup for them. Like they played them before, they won by 2 scores, and I think that Warriors, the way they play the game, is a very good way to counter what Unknown Talent does.
Well, Unknown Talent, the issue is knowledge. They're new to
Yeah,
FPF.
they're new to FPF, which is
They're the
fine.
best athletes in the division.
But so is Warriors. Or like they can keep up with them.
Warriors have more. So the thing is, again, they don't have like Benji Ziegler's great.
Yes.
He's probably the best receiver in the division, best two-way player in the division.
Hold
Yes.
on, before you continue on, Terry Tam, can you pop up Benji Ziegler's headshot, please? We had this debate 2 weeks ago. Does he look like Ansi Kopitar of the LA Kings? Carry on, peace.
So, but after Benji, the team is fine. They're good. They're good across the board.
Yes.
But like, so now when you look across a lot of teams, they have 2 or 3 guys that can take over a game
Yeah, okay.
in the division, right? So if you look at Pension Plan, it's Anthony Sija and Junior Spera and Giovanni Giamarella has gone off this year. You know, you look at a team like I don't know, give me a team. It's the 2 Kyler brothers, let's say for Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but I feel like the way the Warriors play,
Mhm.
they're very good at defending the deep ball, and their offense is more than one-dimensional. If they could throw 40 bombs if they wanted to, which they've done in the past, or now they're able to drive the field and
Well, that's the thing. I feel like they learned that last season
Yes.
that they can't just air the ball. Like I feel like Warriors are with Sickbick were no Warriors.
Unknown Talent.
Unknown Talent are with
Yeah.
Sickbick were
Yes,
who were
so
Warriors before.
Considering that, they're like a step above. They're able to shut down what Unknown Talents will try to do to them in the playoffs. And so that's why I think that it's a bad matchup for Unknown Talent if they get to play Warriors early.
Mhm.
Whereas
I'm just saying it's not a gimme matchup, right?
No, it's not. There's easier matchups to have, but that's a good one for them.
Yeah.
So we look at Average Joe's 4th and 20 in Channel 4 news team. Where do we see them now in this whole domination of teams trying to get into the big boy playoff in the 660 ranks? Are they going to be something that will fall by the cracks, or are they going to be teams to watch out for moving towards the end of the 3 weeks?
I mean, Channel 4 news team is a good team.
But can they keep up with let's say the top 6 in
Are they outside the
Division
Power 6? How about that?
because to me and they're all at the top of the standings. The top
Yeah.
6 teams are Dirty Laundry, Warriors, Vic in the Box, Scranton Stranglers, Hot Sauce, and D2.
Yeah.
And Unknown Talent just because of their like sheer athleticism.
Unknown Talent.
Let's say the 6 or 7 teams really at the top.
But to me, like, Channel 4 news team is that type of team that's going to be able to upset one of these 6 in the
Maybe,
playoffs.
yeah. That can
Right.
happen.
So,
But do you see them going against, let's say, 3 of them?
no,
on the way to a
right off the bat,
championship.
no. But in the first round, if you get Channel 4 news team as like your whatever, let's
Like,
say-
like personally, I don't want to play them first
Yeah,
round.
so
We
if
lost them by 1 point.
so you
last
guys are
time we
fifth,
played them.
right?
Yeah.
So you're going to play the 10th seed or 11th seed. By playing the 11th seed,
Ish.
if that Channel 4 news team, which it won't be because it's a Division 6D team, but whatever.
Yeah.
If it happens to be them, which the math doesn't work right now. But
like for us, it won't happen because we can't catch Warriors
but
because they have the tie break and we have games ahead behind.
okay, nice. But technically, if you get to play Channel 4 news team as a as a bottom seed against you guys, it's a bad matchup for most teams.
Agreed.
Like,
Right.
it's a very strong team that could upset anybody in the playoffs.
But my point is when I'm discussing like true like most question that you're not answering is
Great politician.
is whether or not these teams can compete for a championship. Whether they're like
Because
real-
they're in the middle of the pack right
Yeah.
now in their division. And so they're sort of that, are they at the equator, or are they going to be north or south of it as we move towards the end
So,
of the season?
yeah, I find they're the most dangerous middle of the pack team because they're gonna most likely win 1 or 2 games.
okay, but
But out of
are
all-
they true competitors?
But out of all these teams in the middle of the pack, I don't see any of them winning.
So
Correct.
you, so
Which
you
is
have no
what-
confidence
which
in
is
them
how
at
I
all. So they're below the equator then.
I guess they're the most likely to do so, but none of them will.
So you're saying they're below the equator then?
Yes, below.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. The pack, can they get in? Yes. Today, on what are we? February 28th, on the last day of February, as we move towards March.
Hey, happy
Do you
March,
believe-
guys.
Happy
Oh,
March.
no, next 2 days are no alcohol day.
So
Yeah, that's gonna
February
work.
29, 30, and 31. 31st. 31.
Why, by the way?
there's
What's
no
the
29th.
thing?
What's wrong with you, Simon?
It's a joke, Mokan.
I know it is.
3
I've
days of
seen
no
that, though.
alcohol.
Why are
Give
they
me some
doing that?
cookies,
What's the
please.
campaign about? What's it for?
Just like 3 days
Oh,
of no
just-
alcohol.
When is the leap year, by the way? Next year? 2020?
Sorry?
The leap year. 2020 next year?
I have
Leap
no
year?
idea.
Terry Eagle. What's
There you go.
Pterodactyl.
Eagle Tam.
So the pack play Average Joes, which I think they'll lose.
Okay.
Hurricane Season, which I think they'll lose, and Fat Diablos,
Well,
which
okay, so if
tie.
so
or,
if
what
they
were the
play,
replacements then?
okay, but if the pack plays Hurricane Season and Fat Diablos, which are both only 1 point ahead of the pack, all they need
Yeah,
to
but
do is
we know Hurricane Season are better than the pack.
yeah, but all they need to do is beat either Hurricane Season or Fat Diablos to jump them.
Yeah.
So unless Fat Diablos wins out, 1 or 2 games and are able to put themselves above, but considering they most likely won't, the pack only needs to beat Fat Diablos or Hurricane
What's
Season
interesting about
back-to-back
Fat Diablos is they're playoff bound, and the way they did so is that they have a forfeit in week 1,
weeks. Yes.
and Alex Gertain threw in one of the other wins.
Yes. So there's
So
only
Michel Deguire has 1 win as a quarterback.
Which
for the
isn't
team.
a good thing.
and who was it against?
The pack or who else?
It was against
Replacements.
Replacements face 4th and 20, tough game. Vic in a box and
Very tough
Sharknado.
game.
So
Very tough.
so Fat Diablos currently in the 7th will play Dirty Laundry, D2 the Mighty Ducks, and
Oof.
finish the season against the pack.
That's tough, man.
So
I don't know
technically,
about that.
most likely going to lose the next 2 games.
Yeah,
Beat 3 and 6, and play the pack for if
for
you
a
lose
potential
you're out.
playoff game. Yeah,
Which would be the playing game. Which
Which
could
is
be
fun.
very well the game of the week.
which is going to be super interesting.
Which is great to see, right? Because you
Yeah.
want it to go down to week 10, and if it,
yeah, because the top, like anyone who's got 8 points likely has clinched the playoff spot
Because
in
of
6.
this scenario.
Yeah.
Right? Fat Diablos
sorry, go ahead.
Fat Diablos at 7th will most likely not win out 2 of the next 3 games, which puts the barrier at 7 points.
So
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to week 9. Is this where we start seeing teams clinch playoff spots officially?
I see because so the math gets hard because you need to take into account that some of the bottom teams will face each other as well.
Yeah.
So I think some teams, like I think Warriors already clinched.
But why are we still stuck in the Stone Age? We can't put like a little X on the website to say team clinch.
It's we need to add a lot of math to the website to do that. It already doesn't
add
do
a little,
tiebreakers
add a little
well.
hyphen and a little star.
Yeah,
We have to-
we had
Well,
to do-
we'd have to do that manually more. I'm saying manually is very difficult to calculate
Yeah,
whether
but
or not
Where's Eagle when we need him?
when we used to do it
at
manually.
the ballet.
Yeah.
There's
It's
a,
really
there's a
is.
reason we stopped doing it manually because people were not happy with it.
Well, Simon made a mistake once. Was the issue.
It was not a mistake.
M.
Well,
Roy, Mike R.
It was
Asterisk, he made a
it-
mistake once.
Yeah, because instead of
the
being
guy when he voted for
Gar-
himself as all-star.
guaranteed out, it was potentially maybe out. Which again, they ended up being out anyways.
All right, it is now time for.
Games of the week.
All right, all right, Eagle. Good
So
job.
much
All right,
better than
so
Eagle.
3 games from 6 and 3 games from 6D.
So I pick in Marc Andre's article, and
Don't
because
tell
it's the only reason people read Marc Andre's article, I won't give my picks here. Instead, what I'll do is I'll provide some background, and then you two gentlemen,
Yes.
and
Well, Pete
you
Eagle-
gentlemen,
sorry.
and whatever Simone.
Terry will pick.
Wow.
What did I call you? A pile of human trash? Is that it? So
Lover boy over
gentlemen
here.
and pile of human trash will pick.
Lover boy over here.
Give us the games you find most interesting. Terry Bear.
I'm gonna go with the pack and Average Joe's.
I like it. He chose it because it's the first game.
Fantastic.
So the pack struggling, like we said, they need to win some games to get into the playoffs. Average Joe's, their reputation in FPF so far in their 2 seasons have been they beat teams that they're better than, and they never win as the underdog, and they never lose as the favorite.
That's a good reputation to have.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's a fair reputation for a new
Give
team.
me average Joes because I believe it's going to come down to week 10, the pack against Fat Diablos.
You just want that for
so
content.
for that to happen,
So we have something to talk
I need-
about that on that podcast.
For that to happen, I need them to lose this week. So give me average Joes.
I'm gonna go with the pack. I've seen them a couple of times in Brossard, and no,
That's
they're
where
not
they play best. They play
You-
best at Brossard.
Well, that's where they have most of their games,
Yeah.
right?
So the
Saturday,
pack-
6 p.m.
So the Brossard's pack,
Mm.
essentially.
It's the Wolf Pack den for them.
Awkward.
Brossard then.
The pack.
The pack for
Next.
you. Okay. Next game, D2 versus unknown talent.
This is a good game.
So it's a collection of D2 players playing Div 6D. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's you can't sit with us against
Oh,
unknown
perfect.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
No,
sorry,
D-
I don't know talent.
D2,
Mighty Ducks.
led by Matt Damon, who's, in my opinion, the favorite 4 quarterback of the year in the division, and he shouldn't be throwing in this division. It's ludicrous. Going up against unknown talent who have lost their last 2 games.
Give me the Ducks.
And they've been stewing for a week, however.
Unknown talent was route running and practicing for an hour and a half yesterday.
That's intense.
After most of them coaching.
Yes.
So they were coaching. After coaching, they decided to run routes and practice and whatever.
Didn't help them. They were missing balls anyway.
No, because losing to Peeze hurts.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. Honestly, when you see people's faces after they lose to me as quarterback, it's amazing. it's like someone shot their dog while killing their parents.
That never happened to me.
Never.
No, it's
Losing
coming.
to Peeze or
It's coming.
or the dog thing.
All right.
I've only lost to one of you once, and it was you, Simo.
I don't know. It was. I
Big
remember
D,
that
it's
game.
coming, bro.
No,
Big D.
I got the
no,
D-
I'm gonna
Ducks.
take unknown talent because I the way the Ducks have a very good offense, but their defense will not be able to stop the 40 bomb from the unknown talent.
The reason why I'm taking the Ducks because no one can read their numbers, so no one will know who's who on the football field. Ducks.
It's a good insight.
Mind control.
I'm picking this game because it probably has the best name in FPF history.
All right.
So 7th rounders versus the Scranton Stranglers. I love that name.
7th rounders, they've been gritty and tough, and that's only helped them win 2 games. And Scranton Stranglers 5-2, but one of the weaker schedules. And I'm going to have a little bit of schedule strength in my article this week. So one of the weaker schedules in Division 6, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't remember now.
All right. I got the Stranglers winning today. Or this
Yeah,
weekend.
I'll take the Stranglers too. I think 7 rounders they're slowly getting there, just not there yet.
Next.
So we're going to go to 6D.
Why?
Lionhearts versus Gold Rush.
No. Next game. Next game.
I watched Lionhearts play last
Okay,
week.
relax. Okay, they're not going to win this game. Can we do a different game? I feel
Most
bad for them.
most improved team in FPF.
It's all about.
Yeah,
it's all
They
about
are
improvement.
statistically the most improved team.
Most improved team in FPF. Okay, fine. Fine, Mo.
By the way, I would have Lionheart to win that game.
We'll go Bud Knights versus Potatoes.
Oh, the best defense in
Bud Knights
football.
are the team Simo declared the best defense in the history of football. All football, soccer included.
football.
Yes.
And kickball.
And they're going up against potatoes. Potatoes. They're good. They just lost last week.
You know
But
the
they're
reason
good.
why Potatoes are gonna lose this game is because they're gonna forfeit due to roster.
I got Bud Knights winning.
No, I got Potatoes, man. Because I had the Potatoes. Sorry,
Fighting
Bud Knights.
Tigers versus DGC. I just want to say something.
Mhm.
I played in Division 6 a really long time ago,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of
Last
the
year?
same teams in here.
Yes, they're communal.
It doesn't make sense.
Terry,
DGC,
it was last year.
DGC is one of the best defenses in Division 6D, led by 40 Evangelista. Taking on Fighting Tigers. Seth Galina now 2 wins in a row under his belt.
Well, it's
Back
big
up.
because Tigers are 4-2,
Mhm.
DGC's 3-3. So this could definitely be a flip of where their playoff standings could be.
Will it flip, Mokan?
It will not flip. Tigers.
I agree with Mokan. DGC has been a disappointment this season.
All right, next.
Chocolate Barracudas versus Le Cassé.
Oh, good
Have
game.
you ever had chocolate barracudas?
No,
you?
I've only had
Why would you
vanilla
make-
Barracudas.
Would you mix fish and chocolate?
No, it could be like
It's a real question.
animal crackers.
No longer behind cages.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Give me
Peter.
chocolate barracudas.
Not a waste of time at all.
Yeah, give me the Barracudas. They've been good on offense back-to-back weeks. I see it, the trend right here.
Correct.
All right, cool. Thanks, Peace.
I'm not picking now.
Great analysis for the crackers.
Last game? That was it? Perfect. All right. So check out Peace's article. He's going to talk about the strength of schedules, who can bench press the most. NFL Combine's upon us. He'll give us his underwear Olympic top 5, who he likes in that
Underwear
combine.
Olympic top 5.
Yeah.
I will read that.
Of course.
You know, actually, you know what? We should do like a combine, like if FPF combine. Who can bench the most, the fastest 40, the highest
Nathan
verts?
Taylor wins.
Mokan
No,
loses.
current FPF. Div 6 or 6D. How about
All right, fair.
All
Mokan,
right.
you'll still lose.
Match words, please.
The
Terry
pro-
Eagle.
The problem with not wearing Hanes undershirts is other shirts bacon at the collar.
Well then, good night, Washington Nationals. We'll see you in Philadelphia.